plaintiff, Guadalupe Reynoso, says the defendant said he wanted to date her exclusively, but after she agreed, he refused to be intimate with her. Guadalupe claims she once tried to seduce the defendant and he rejected her, and she's suing because she loaned the defendant money after his children were kidnapped, but he has yet to repay her. Defendant Juan Lopez Gonzalez says he's been celibate since his divorce and insists he never asked Guadalupe to be in an exclusive relationship. Juan admits that he needed money after his daughters were kidnapped while in Mexico, but he insists there was never a deadline for repayment.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, first of all, thank you foremost for letting me come in front of you and plead my case. I like your show. I watch your show. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I like your story. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the defendant and I met through a mutual friend, and we started talking on the phone for like a week, and we talked like 10 to 12 hours every day in a row, stay talking. And
nobody worked? No wonder he owes you money.
Late at night, Your
Man
Honor.
didn't work. Oh, okay. But 12 hours is a long time.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
by the third day in on the phone, I had a picture of him, so I knew the way he looked. We hadn't seen me yet. He asked for us to be exclusive, so I said yes. So then that weekend, we finally saw each other. So when I saw him, I said, oh, he even looked better than the picture. So okay, kind of thing. And
When was this approximately?
in
what
January
month
of
and year?
2016.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. So that weekend that we did go out, I kind of like sneaked in a kiss, but then he kind of like backed off a bit and complained a bit about it.
What did he complain? What did he say?
He didn't like to do that. He wasn't like the people and men of today that he was a gentleman, which kind of made me like him more. So I said, okay. So now we're looking into February. Nothing, Your Honor. Nothing of the sort. Not a kiss, nothing whatsoever. So in mid-February.
How far would you have liked to have gone by February?
I mean, at least kissing, making out, right?
Okay,
Yes, okay.
all right.
So nothing of that sort. So then I try to come in one day that we're hanging out and seeing each other, and he rejects me. Now, Your Honor, I'm not conceited or anything like that, but I mean, look at me kind of thing,
you
right?
You tried to come on to him intimately?
And he rejected me, yeah.
How?
No kiss, no nothing. I tried to come into him to kiss him, to start something, maybe to kiss, make out, sex, I don't know, something. And he rejected me.
How?
I mean,
I'm just curious.
Like pushed
Okay.
away. I didn't even get that close.
Got it.
So then I asked myself, wait a second, do you like me? Are you attracted to me? Or like, I don't understand what's going on here kind of thing. Or is something wrong with you, kind of thing. So after from
What did
there
he
on,
say?
he just said, no, I'm just not ready. I just don't feel
Okay.
it. So after from then on, things didn't go that well. We became very distant, whatever. So in March, I ended the relationship.
Did you tell him why?
Well, yes, because of the ignoring me, the distance, the not
did he say?
responding to my text. Nothing really.
Okay. Let me hear from you before we get into the other specifics, sir.
Hi, Your Honor. Just to make clear things up, we were never in a relationship. I never wanted a commitment. She knew. I just wanted to, go out, date, pretty much that was it.
Okay. Now, she says that in January, you all talked 12 hours a day, 3 days straight. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
And did you all conclude by that third day that you wanted an exclusive relationship?
Not an exclusive relationship. It's just that, if we were going to date, we're going to just be dating each other. Nobody
That's
else.
exclusive. Good enough. All right, so you all began dating in January, then what? Tell me how that went.
Then afterwards, we saw each other a couple more times. We went out to eat. After that, in March of 2016.
When she was trying to kiss you, what was happening?
Well, I was married for 10 years. I just was single for 3 years. I didn't really dated nobody. I would guess I was not ready.
No.
And
If you hadn't done anything in how many years?
3 years.
You could have been very ready.
Yeah.
All right. 3 years, you wouldn't have to come after me. You might as well just go ahead and go to heaven now. You're not married, don't you? You might as well, ain't no sense in sinning now. You married yet?
No.
All right, well, don't fornicate until you get married. Now that we see you can go 3 years with temptation in front of you. So, good man. You're a good man. All right, that's why, ma'am, he's trying to go to heaven.
Okay.
He doesn't want to fornicate. And when he
Okay.
gets me, if you want to marry him, then y'all can do all that. Am I
Okay.
right or wrong?
You're right.
See that?
Okay, Your Honor.
I can tell a good man. So
Lesson
you
learned,
walking
Your
away
Honor.
from a good man. Most women, they would want to take their time and try to, oh, he's a good man. Uh-huh. So go ahead. You the
Okay.
devil in you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Devil. What happened in March?
Okay, so even though I had broke up with him, we were still talking, kind of, keeping as friends, let's say. And in April of 2016, something told me, call him. So I make the phone call and I'm talking to him. And I hear that something's wrong, like he had been crying and things like that. So then he tells me that his daughters, which are with the ex-wife in Mexico over the border, were kidnapped.
Which is a frequent occurrence, unfortunately, in
Yes.
some parts. Most of Mexico, that's
Yes.
not the case.
Yes. I try to come in one day that we're hanging out and seeing each other, and he rejects me. Now, Your Honor, I'm not conceited or anything like that, but, I mean, look at me kind of thing,
You
right?
tried to come on to him intimately?
And he rejected me, yeah.
Plaintiff Guadalupe Reynoso says after she agreed to exclusively date the defendant, he refused to be intimate with her. And he even rejected Guadalupe after she tried to seduce him.
Go ahead.
So then, I was there for him and things like that. So then the kidnappers asked for a $50,000 ransom. And he let them know, I don't have this kind of money, this and that. So they kind of lowered it to a certain amount. And he needed money. So I
know
offered.
they didn't lower it to 500.
No, to 5,000.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Not 500, Your Honor.
You did get your kids back, right?
I did.
You did get them back? Okay, we can laugh about it now.
Yes.
They didn't lower it to 500.
No, of course not. But he was getting money and borrowing whatever he
From other
could for a certain
people as
amount.
well.
Like, give me
Okay.
this and I'll let you talk to the girls.
All
This
right.
amount. So then
For
he
500, he could talk.
no, part of my vendor was part of the full amount, whatever he needed to get. He
Got
just
it.
needed 500 more within an hour or two
Got it.
before he had to send it to them. So then I offered to lend him the 500, and so then he agreed, and he would say that he would pay me the following
This
week.
was April of 16?
April, yeah. I lent the April 2nd was the $500. So then he did what he had to do, and then California let him bring his daughters over to here for their safety. And since they didn't have nothing, the little girls didn't have clothes, anything what they needed. So on the April 17th is when I lent him the $50 to get any things that he needed for his daughters.
Okay, and when was he to repay?
The following Monday or Tuesday.
How? Where did you expect him to have it? Within a few days? If he didn't have it then, did he tell you he was going to get his
Yes, he said he was going to
salary?
borrow it from someone else, like a friend, and then he was going to repay me and then like owe it to that friend.
All right. And hasn't paid you anything yet?
Nothing at all.
What does he say when you ask him?
He gives a lot of excuses. He doesn't return the text messages because I spoke to him. I've sent him in text
What's the
messages.
most recent excuse, if you can remember?
That he didn't have the money.
All right. Sir, let me hear from you on this.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, this happened in late March 2016. She did call me. I let her know what was going on. The money that she let me borrow was actually for the favor, because I have a contact in Mexico that actually went and looked for my daughters. So I had to pay him those $500. So that was the payment for that. So she offered, to help me out. She offered the money. So I told her, as soon as I have money, I'll pay you back. But there was never an agreement, the time frame.
Couldn't give her the income tax lie or anything? Or a student loan lie or something? Go ahead.
No, Your Honor.
How long do you intend to stretch it out?
Well, right now I'm strapped on money. The total amount I had to pay for the ransom was $5,000, plus the $500 that she loaned me, and the other $50.
So you're paying the other people?
Yes, I did.
Why
sent them.
can't you put her at the head of the list? The other people kiss you?
No, Your
Try
Honor.
to kiss you?
No, Your Honor.
Well,
But the
then
other
she
people,
should be at the top of the list. She's the only one tried to kiss you. She showed more concern for you and care for you and affection for you than them. Because these folks you probably used to smoke weed with and they talk behind your back now. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, Your Honor.
See that? That's good. When there's no date of repayment, it's considered a reasonable amount of time in which you must repay, and that is typically 90 days or so. And it's been beyond 90 days, so I'm going to grant her judgment of $550. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Penny Richards says the defendant is her daughter, and Penny claims after she got into legal trouble for mortgage fraud, her attitude changed. Penny says the defendant now has a sense of entitlement, and she's suing her today for unpaid loans. Defendant Melissa Hayes says she and her mother have never gotten along, and when she was 13 years old, her mother kicked her out and forced her to live with a relative. Melissa insists Penny is suing her prematurely.
Start with you.
Saddens me to be here today. It's my daughter. She had gotten into some trouble in 2006.
How was she as a young lady growing up?
We've always had a love-hate relationship. I feel like she's got this entitlement about her that I owe her whatever. She had gotten into some trouble in 2006, mortgage fraud.
When did she begin thinking that you owed her?
It seems like after she got into the trouble that she'd gotten into.
How old was she then?
She,
Okay. Wasn't a minor anymore?
yeah, no, she was not a
All
minor,
right.
Your Honor.
So I hope you know. I hope folks know. Viewing, you do owe your child.
Yes.
You owe them a quality education. You owe them food and shelter. You owe them decent clothes. You owe them a lot when they're minors.
You're absolutely right, Your
Teaching
Honor.
them right from wrong, teaching them values. Now, when they get, you owe them a thing. Does she?
Nope.
After 18, she doesn't know your thing, does she?
No, Your Honor.
And if she's nice enough, she'll send you to college. But you don't owe them that. But you should. Did you send her to college?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
That's why she's trying to collect back payment. That's what this is about, back payment for no college. All right, but she got in trouble in 06.
Yes, she did. It came to light in 2013. She did 2 years probation, and it just seems like that situation with the mortgage or the withholding evidence, the mortgage fraud, her spirit isn't the same, her attitude's not the same.
Hold on. For mortgage fraud in 06, she was prosecuted.
In
For withholding
2013 for
Hold
withholding
on.
evidence. We've always had a love-hate relationship. I feel like she's got this entitlement about her that I owe her whatever. She had gotten into some trouble in 2006, mortgage fraud.
Defendant Melissa Hayes is being sued by her mother, who she claims kicked her out when she was 13 years old.
How much did you take? $20, $50?
It was $1 million loan. I was given. I
Well,
was.
you're supposed to be with them Wall Street crooks.
No,
You need to be, was she in New York? What, you on Wall Street?
Detroit,
Nonetheless,
Michigan.
you got my point. I'm just making a
Yes.
point here.
Yeah.
All those folks ripped this whole country off and nearly caused the economy to collapse were it not for President Obama coming in and saving our economy. And little folks like you got probation, and the big boys got away and got a fine that their insurance companies paid for. Shame, shame, shame. You'll give me some background, ma'am.
Well, Your Honor, my mother and I have never had a close mother-daughter relationship. She's very controlling and very self-absorbed. She doesn't even have a relationship with her own mother and sisters because they're all that way. I haven't lived with my mother since I was 13.
That's not.
I've lived with my grandmother, my aunt. When I was 19, I was pregnant, needed to come back home and live, but because she didn't like my son's father, I was in an abusive relationship.
Why did you leave at 13?
Wasn't
Her and I
13,
have
Your
never
Honor.
gotten along. I've lived with my grandma most of my life.
A lot of children don't get along with mother or
Then it-
father at some point because they don't want to obey the rules.
Then, of course, it got to the point she wouldn't let me come back home. So when
Were
I
you obeying the rules?
No.
We don't act like she put you out or like she did something wrong.
No, but I was 13, and
No,
she
she
could have
wasn't,
dealt
Your
with it
Honor.
instead of
No, if
taking-
not if you decided to leave, how's she gonna deal
I
with
didn't
that?
decide to leave.
Oh, she put you out.
I
Not
had
at
to go-
13,
I
I
had to
did
go
not.
stay with my grandparents.
Did she tell you to go?
Yes.
Did she
and
make
then-
you go?
Yes. And
Not
then
at
when I was
13.
16, I had to go live with my aunt. And look,
She made you.
yes. Yes.
If she had rules, I don't see why she would make you leave. That doesn't make sense. So I don't know what to believe in that instance. She certainly didn't cause you to commit fraud, right?
No.
Was that your only offense?
Yes.
All right, good.
It wasn't fraud either, Your Honor. It was withholding evidence.
Okay, regarding fraud.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, typical criminal. All right, just kidding, just kidding. All right, tell me about the loans you're suing for.
She had me to get 4 payday loans out for her, promised to pay them back. Empty promise after empty promise. She didn't repay them.
Payday loan.
Payday
You
loans.
didn't have money in your account, obviously.
Yes, it was.
You did?
It was in my
Then why did you go to payday loan?
Checking.
That's an exorbitant amount of interest.
I know it is, but I didn't want to take it out of my account. I didn't think I was going to have to take it out of my account, my personal account.
Okay.
And then she called me for rent, $550.
Give me some dates and some amounts.
Have the breakdown here for
Let's
you.
see it, please.
And the receipts. Here's the breakdown.
And they were how many?
There was 4 payday loans, and then there's a loan there that wrote out of my checking account for rent.
January of 15, October 15, 11/15. A couple of these are a year apart or 10 months apart. Another one is the next month. Another one is an entire year from the first loan, and you hadn't been paid for any of them. Why would you keep loaning it to her?
Because she's my daughter and she had 2 of my grandkids.
Well, then why you decide to sue her today if she's a daughter and
she's-
had 2 of your grandkids?
She's promised to pay me back, and she hasn't paid
Well,
me
you
anything.
knew by February 16 that she wasn't going to pay you from the loan you gave her January 15, a year earlier.
Actually, I have one from, these are from right from the check and go.
I know you do. Come on, she's not paying you anything, ma'am. What about these loans you haven't paid your mother?
Your Honor, they were ongoing loans, so
Yeah.
they were paid and then they were reborrowed. When she reborrowed for me, I lost my job in December and I was out of work for 2 months.
She reborrowed from you.
No, reborrowed for me.
Okay.
Because I had been paid, I had paid.
Bottom line, did you borrow a total of $25.80 that is currently unpaid?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're not talking about the repaid loans. We're talking about the outstanding loans. What defense do you have to the outstanding loans?
I feel she's suing me prematurely. Yes, I borrowed the money.
One was from January 15.
Yes, I fell on some financial problems. I lost my job. I'm a single mother. And I just got back to work. I've only been back to work for 2 months, so I'm
How
still.
long were you off?
I was off for 2 months.
This is over a year and a half nearly.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why couldn't you pay her something on that?
I've offered to pay her, but she tells me she didn't give it to me that way. She doesn't want it back that way. I can't pay full lump sums.
Not true.
You wouldn't take half?
That's not
or
true.
I have
equal?
texts.
Saying that what? That I won't take any of that $2,580.
I have texts that it's due and she needs it all paid.
Oh, she put you out.
I
Not
had
at
to go-
13,
I
I
had to
did
go
not.
stay with my grandparents.
Did she tell you to go?
Yes.
Did she
and
make
then-
you go?
Yes. And
Not
when
at
I was
13.
16, I had to go live with my aunt. And look,
She made you.
yes.
Defendant Melissa Hayes is being sued by her mother, who she claims kicked her out when she was 13 years old.
For which loan? You got 4, remember? Which one?
Anyone.
Okay, so that must have been after February 16 that she said that.
Yes.
And let me see it where it says any of them.
And that's because she's told me that she would have the 1 lump sum. That's why
And
I
she
did.
has a right to demand all of her money. That's not a defense to not paying. If you didn't have a payment plan, and it doesn't sound like you did, a binding payment plan, she can ask for all of her money at any time. Whenever you owe somebody money, you better talk as sweet as you can to them. Unless you have a repayment agreement, like you're living under somebody's roof. And folks get mad because they won't go for their mess while they're living under their roof. You want to obey the rules? Leave. It's your own place. If you're an adult, she just told you that at 13. Just kidding, you didn't tell her. Judgment for the plaintiff, ma'am. You owe her by your own admission. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I've never been good enough for her.
That's not true. That's the way she feels.
Always.
Her
That's always.
opinion.
It's always my opinion. It's never the way she makes me feel. It's always because I feel that way. She never takes anything for any. She never takes fault for anything.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm not perfect.
Plaintiff Carmen Moeller was friends with the defendant for 3 years, until one drunken night they decided to hook up and start dating. However, Carmen claims she could no longer afford to date the defendant because he had no money, and she's suing him because she let him borrow her car, and he not only wrecked it, but he fled the scene of the accident. Defendant Scott Vance says Carmen was a nice woman, but he broke up with her after she showed up at a bar screaming and cursing at him in front of his friends. Scott insists Carmen is suing for more than he owes.
Start with you.
Okay, Scott and I have been friends for like 3 years, and well, it was kind of a drunken tequila night, but we kind of hooked up.
How has things proceeded since then?
Oh, they're not.
When did it stop?
Well, I couldn't afford him.
Since when? When did he become too expensive?
Well, he stayed with me for about 3 months and never paid any rent, never paid anything, and
Oh,
I said, you know, you're gonna have to start paying some rent or something. He says, when I get my bonus, I'll pay 2 months' rent. That never happened. So.
still waiting on that bonus?
Oh, no, I got it. It just wasn't what I was expecting, you know, so.
He gave you that story?
Yeah.
So it's the boss's fault.
It's the boss's fault. Yeah. All right. What else you want to tell
But
me?
anyway, Scott is really a good guy. He has good intentions. I mean, he's usually normally quiet and shy till he gets a few drinks in him, and then he gets pretty wild, and he likes to hit on a lot of women. It's,
And they comply
I'm sure quite a few do.
when they're drunk. When they're drunk,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, he tried to join this private gentleman's fishing club back home, and he actually got banned from the premises because he hit on all the wives in front of their husbands. So he's not allowed to step foot on the property anymore.
Fishing for the wrong thing.
Fishing for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Where you all from, by the way?
Cincinnati.
Okay. You ever think you all could get back together, man?
No.
Why
no,
not?
he doesn't even have a job now.
He's got his bonus. You lost your job?
Yeah, due to not having my license, yeah.
Give me some background on yourself. You all met in 2013.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we was friends. I mean, you know, we both drink a lot. We hang out at the same bar, so, I mean, kind of turned into started dating, and, I mean, Carmen's a great person. She has helped me out a lot due to me not having a license. And
When was your license taken?
2014
Why?
DUI.
How many?
I've only had one.
Why'd you all break up?
Well, it kind of just went downhill. You know, I kind of got to see a bad side of her. You know, at the bar one night, she come in. Well, we was probably drunk, but me and my pals sitting around, she come up just screaming and yelling, you know, making a scene.
About what?
Money.
You owe me this, you owe me that, you owe me money.
And you know what? It helped me because if I hadn't have gotten everybody in the bar involved, then I wouldn't have got the money for my suspended license.
They all
But they
jumped on
marched
you?
him over to the ATM, and I got my money for that.
They forced him to the ATM.
Well, they gave him, yeah.
Nobody made me.
So you went over to the ATM and gave her money that night, and then you were done with her from there?
Yeah, that's kind of when we put the brakes on. things.
2015.
Yeah.
Plaintiff Carmen Moeller dated the defendant, but he claims he broke up with her after she showed up at a bar and started screaming at him in front of his friends.
So tell me why you're here today.
He wrecked my car.
Was he drinking?
No.
Okay.
But it was in the morning. I was going to go get my hair done, and my hairdresser had my hair up in foil and everything, and his grandmother called, and he was worried about her because when he answered, she wasn't there. So he tried to call her back. She didn't answer. She's in her 80s. She has Alzheimer's. So he asked me if he could run down the street and check on her real quick. And I was worried about her, too. I said, yes, please, just go check on her. And he wrecked my car.
Sir?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, I went down to, I did go down to check on my grandma just to make sure she was all right. So on the way back to picking her up, It was cold out, the roads were wet, and I slid into the back into somebody.
Okay, so sliding into the back sounds like it was your fault. What was discussed afterwards?
So what he did is, after he wrecked my car, he fled the scene of the crime. So he pulls up to get me when I'm getting my hair done. I go out there, I said, I see my car, and I noticed there's no license plate.
How much damage? You have a picture?
Yes, I do. I don't have a picture, but I have the
Estimate?
details.
So you don't see your license plate.
Yeah, so he leaves the scene of the accident and leaves my license plate behind. So I took him with me. He says, Carmen, I can't go back there because they're going to take me to jail because he's already gotten a ticket for driving under suspension. So I said, no, I made him go with me because I had to find that person because I didn't want to hit and run on me. So yeah, we found her, and here she comes out the door with my license plate in her hands.
And the ticket.
Yeah, I admitted to the police officer that I did know that he didn't have a license, but at that time, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was worried about his grandmother.
What was the ticket for?
It was wrongful entrustment.
Okay, well,
for
that's
letting
your
him drive
fault.
my car without a license.
Insurance deductible. Sir, do you have a defense?
No, I mean, I do kind of feel responsible for that. You know, it was my fault. I did damage her car.
Okay, how does he owe you attorney fees?
Well, I felt bad for him, and he was afraid he was going to go to jail for that because that was his second driving under suspension. So we called and talked to an attorney, and the attorney thought that he could get him out with no jail time or
So
anything.
he charged you all over the phone.
And yes,
Yeah,
so
y'all
I
were drunk that
went ahead
day.
and gave him my credit card.
Did you ever see
I
him?
did when he went to court and went to jail.
All right, so he did show up to court. Sir, what do you have to say about the attorney fees?
The attorney, you know, I had no written contract with her.
Did you agree to pay her?
There was never no promise.
She never asked for money.
She asked.
And what did you say? You're coming across as pitiful.
Yep.
What did you say?
Oh, she came at me like, you owe me this, you owe me that. But, you know, at the time when it happened, there was never no promise.
What did you say?
Oh, I said, no, I don't.
All right. Did he tell you he didn't know you?
I said, I will put this retainer if you pay me back.
What did he say?
He said, okay.
And you never said okay?
I didn't say okay.
Were you all living together or anything?
No, I think I'd already no, I think he was staying at my apartment.
How long had you all lived together?
About a month.
Okay. It's not likely that you're staying with a person for a month that they would feel so committed to you that they would pay a legal fee and not expect it to be returned. The ticket, I'm going to strike that. So it's because that's your fault. 500 plus 750 is what, Doyle?
1250.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Oh, we're still great friends. I mean, this ain't going to change our friendship none.
We're drinking buddies.
Yes.